I'm back. I'm so, so sorry. God, did I lose all those people? Hi, guys. I'm sorry. Hi, honey hush. Yeah, what happened was I went into my email to read an email and I lost Hangouts. This is on my cell. I can't toggle. I can only toggle for so much and then I lose it. So I'm back. So we'll wait a couple of minutes. Maybe Miriam will call back. How are you, honey? Hi, honey. How are you? I'm Mr. 98. I just lost like over 100 people, I think. Yeah, Brian. Well, what's up? Yeah, I have no idea how long I was talking. I was reading that email until I figure it out. Like, no one's here. Good to hear, honey. Yeah, Brian. So this email basically, because I sent you your kids out a package. I sent Celeste and that woman in England, who she assumed I sent it to. It's still sitting in my living room floor 3 weeks later. But I reached out to her and she understands. And shit happens in life. I'm sorry, but I'm so sick of defending myself, feeling, which I know I don't have to, that my life is busy, work 60 hours a week, I have to pay bills, I have to do things, my family comes first. And I guess it's not good enough for some people on social media. And, it hurts. It really does. But, whatever. I'm over it already. But this email thing has to stop. I need a break. I just need a break from emails. Too much of anything is not good. And I'm burning the candle at both ends, and something has to give. And it's not going to be my health, so I thought about this for a while too. Brian, do you want to come up? And it's going to be my email. Yeah, your kids were really excited. I know I'm tough, but not that tough where you just write emails and just tell me I'm a horrible person, and that I didn't. Also, I've gotten an email. I didn't help someone with their active addiction. I'm not treading there, and I'm not going to. I am not a um, how do you put it? I'm just not going to use my license in medicine to cross that boundary and treat somebody or help someone um, medically on a medical clinical level. And I've made that clear many times. I'm not doing it. It's reckless. It's reckless for anybody who has a license to protect in medicine. Don't do it. Do not do it. Yeah, Todd, I see you, man. Anyone, Brian, you want to come up? You do? All right, hold on. Let me send you a link, honey. Uh, all right. Okay, I sent it. Hopefully, Brian, if I can't hear you, that's what happened with Marianne. You got to go back out and then come back in. Yeah, Todd, we see you. Todd, want to come up? Case Smalls, honey, are you really leaving? I wanted to make a video. I was thinking about you. I'm in the middle of trying. It probably won't be till the end of this week. Um, I'm trying to put a video together for you. Welcome back, everyone. Pink screwed up. DEFCON 5. Hi, Lily. I like your rose. We're back. Remy, baby, how are you? My dance partner. Planning on it, yeah. Do you think you just need a little break, or are you like I know your frustration, like feeling like we have no freedom of speech on social media platforms. Look what Mommy Ramblings went through. This woman is like so innocent of everything. She loses her AdSense. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Pink.
How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So Mommy Ramblings loses her AdSense, but yet there's other creators out there who are so vicious on their platforms. I mean, they have violated policies left and right, and yet they still have their AdSense. I don't get it. I don't get Brian, any update on Mommy Ramblings?
How did Mommy Ramblings lose her AdSense?
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She never got a notice.
She doesn't bother anybody.
No.
She steers clear of the drama completely.
Yeah.
You know, she blocked me, and I've never had a word to say to her because of the drama.
She blocked me.
Right. She doesn't want anything to do with any
But I've
drama.
never even talked to her.
Right. I never had either. But since she had seen the arguing and stuff that was going on, she just didn't want any part of it. So that's how. So I don't understand how she could lose.
But you know what? I didn't participate in those lives, and that's what's weird. Just the fact that my name was mentioned a million times by Laura.
Right.
That's what she does. I emailed her, and I'm like, I signed the petition, and I shared it on all my social links.
Yeah.
And then I went to post it on her link, and I realized I was blocked. So I emailed her, and I'm like, it was a nice email. I mean, regardless, I wished her well, as we should,
Right.
but just to let her know that, we're thinking of her. I don't know. She doesn't have a reason. And I don't think she updated today.
Yeah, I still watch her just because she blocked me. I mean, I'm not mad at her for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's bad. That's bad. When somebody she doesn't bother anybody. She really doesn't.
But usually you get notice right away of why you lost your AdSense.
You should, yeah.
So I'm wondering if her account was hacked.
I think if somebody was going to hack her account, they would just shut it completely down. You know what I mean? If somebody had the ability to hack her account and they were mad at her.
So do you think the algorithm screwed up probably over at AdSense?
If she didn't get a mail, then the algorithm had to have screwed up. If she didn't get a mail, they mail you whenever they do something right.
Yeah, but the algorithm picks up that, and they still give a reason. They still email you, and it's based on the like the Dr. Phil on on Laura's channel. Laura knew right I think away. It was Laura's channel, right? She knew right away what happened.
They shut her channel off. They shut her channel off. I mean, like while it was on, boom.
Right, like a blackout. But Laura got notice almost immediately after that. Mommy Ramblings got nothing.
Well, then there's got to be some kind of screw up somewhere, because she didn't deserve that anyway.
Yeah, look at Kay Smalls. She makes a good point. Kay Smalls, Jay for Justice, Mommy Ramblings, and Diane, all within 30 days lost their AdSense.
Wow. I wonder what's going on. No emails, no nothing. What about you, Kay? Nothing, no email to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Diane either.
I got my shirt on backwards.
Well, at least it's on.
No, I want to see my man boobs. I used to do that when I first started out. I would just sit here the way I was, and I just sit around without my shirt on. And I try not to do that anymore. Nobody wants to see that. Maybe everybody should try that with their shirt off sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, Ebeth, it makes no sense.
It doesn't. Case you got no mail or nothing, Case Malls. That's crazy.
Yeah, Remy's asking. See, I don't follow Jay for Justice. I've never even been over there. Why the hell would Jay lose it? I don't know. She hasn't said, Remy?
No, she doesn't do drama either, really.
So isn't it interesting? Well, Diane does drama, so it's not like a pattern, like all the crime channels are losing their AdSense.
I think if there's a hacker doing this, they wouldn't just take their AdSense away. They'd just shut their whole channel down.
I don't know. They might be screwing with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I turned mine on yesterday.
Like a warning?
I guess. like I said, I turned mine on yesterday. I was tired of people telling me that. Oh,
It's
your
it's
channel.
it's, it's
Your
just
channel.
unusual that Mommy Ramblings did not get notification.
No, she doesn't bother anybody either.
Kay Smalls, did she answer that? It may have. Oh, Chicken Little says it might have something to do with the lives. I read something somewhere about that. They want real content. So could it have been by what somebody said in her live?
Yeah, but they should not hold you accountable for what somebody says. That's why
But
we
they
have mods.
do. Didn't
Yeah,
Marissa talk about that also? That if, like, she was nervous too, that if someone cussed or said something really bad in her chat, she could lose her AdSense.
right, right. But the thing of it is YouTube put the mod. They put that in place to help control that, so you can be focused on whatever content it is. So I don't see why they would hold you accountable for something somebody else says. I understood that they were focusing on child predators and keywords like tags and child, and like if you got a movie or a video up with kids in it, these predators are tagging parts, like if a kid does a flip, and
Mm-hmm.
they're tagging parts where you can hone in on stuff that you're not supposed to,
Right.
and that I understood would get your channel taken down. The predators immediately, not just the AdSense being taken down is what they said.
Yeah, honey hush, and I've heard this before too. Like some people who put in like 10 emojis at a time. I can't hear you, Brian. That's weird.
I don't know why you can't hear me.
I can hear you now. So if you put like on Facebook, when I used to be on Facebook, if you put in like the same word a lot or emojis repetitively, you lost your comment or they timed you out automatically. So they're doing that on YouTube, I guess, too, that, but that's enough to lose your AdSense.
YouTube should be making it a little more clear how they're doing this.
Right.
And that way you can control it a little better if you know exactly what's going on. But you can't be expected to have 400 or 500 people in your room and you're talking about content, and you can't be expected to watch your chat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they have mods.
Honey says they'll give you a strike.
Yeah.
You're welcome to talk. Yeah.
And then eventually all these creators, all of our lives will be without chat. All of our videos will be disabled comments. That's what it's going to have to be.
Was anybody a creator before? YouTube changed everything up before this time, though, I heard. So I heard it used to be really different on YouTube, on lives, like a couple of years ago. And I was on YouTube for years, but I wasn't in live. So I heard it was like it was greater and it was more enjoyable. And I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Message deleted. Kay Small's got her message deleted. Poor thing.
Kay Smalls is timed out by eBeth. How come? eBeth, was it an accident?
I think she meant to get the one above it.
Yeah. I think eBeth did this too the other day.
Because the one above it says, "Here he is again, honing in on another stream." I'm sick of the stream killer. Well, I was asking, come on.
Oh, Kay Smalls. I don't know.
It's only for a little while.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve it. She knows that. Yeah. A lot of the videos are hard to monetize anymore. If you got certain keywords in them, they won't even let you put an ad down. That's why I don't like the monetization. I turned it on yesterday, played with it for a little bit, and I'm just going to turn it back off. It's annoying.
I also heard that, I don't know if this is true, that you can get your channel shut down if you put in your PayPal account.
And they don't want you doing that.
They don't like you, but can they do anything about that? Because I'd rather not monetize and just keep my PayPal up.
Yeah, because you get, well, I mean, yeah, they're saying that if you mention it or you tag it, that they can do that. But I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen them do that to anybody yet. The monetization is kind of annoying. It kind of takes away from the fun for me.
It does, because now it's like everyone's nervous wrecks.
You got to worry about everything that you have on there, and usually, and sometimes it's something that you would normally say, and they can get you. And I just don't like it. But I was also tired of people telling me your channel will never be monetized. You don't have content. I've always been monetized. I just never turned it on because of crap like this. I don't like to be limited. They limit you.
So if you shut your monetization off and say you go on and what would normally be a violation for AdSense, so their algorithms aren't reading you because your monetization is off?
Yeah, they're not worried about it. They're not worried about the advertisers, so they're not really so honed in on you and what you're saying.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, when even in true crime, sometimes you take a certain news clip or something like that and put it up, and then you can't monetize because you took this from somewhere else. It's like, all right, well, whatever then.
Yeah.
But most of the news, the true crime comes from somewhere else. Most all of it, unless you have official court documents or something to show.
Yeah. Mander, I do have my PayPal in my description. It's what I was talking about is when the mods, they list it, how they list it or other people's channels to sub to.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube is censoring stuff. You can choose to have a video monetized. Like, all right, that video I did with the feminist flashcards. I used one of YouTube's free songs, and I lost my monetization on that. But I don't know if it's because I was showing flashcards that belong to a company. Like, how do they pick that up? I didn't even it wasn't even an audio from me.
They have a lot of people that work for them.
But it was quick. It was almost instantaneously after I uploaded it.
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything in the video. It was music. That was YouTube free music. And I just showed flashcards from what I bought.
Can't put links up anymore. I think it's annoying because you have all these ISIS videos where they're cutting off people's heads and stuff like that, and those channels are allowed to do that with monetization, and that should not be at all.
Yeah,
there was a Facebook photo going around of someone doing that to a police officer, and people were reporting it, and it wouldn't go anywhere. They fell under freedom of speech for that.
Mm-hmm.
I told somebody they were pathetic one time on Facebook. Got 30 days. I said, "You're pathetic." That's all I said. You're pathetic. I wasn't, and I got 30 days. I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Facebook is pathetic." Even the person I said it to wasn't offended, but Facebook was.
I haven't been on Facebook in so long. And you know what's crazy about Facebook, Brian, and to my subs in here, my viewers, is that I didn't tell anyone I was leaving Facebook. I just bowed out. And I went back in the other day to check Messenger because I don't use Messenger a lot either. Do you know for all the several months that I have not been in Facebook and not one email is about, are you okay, Pauline? Like, don't even Google my name for an obituary. I mean, nobody was concerned. I mean, all these 3,000 friends I had, not one person messaged me to say, geez, I haven't, because I posted every day.
I sent you a couple messages on it.
But I know, aside from that, because I told you, email me on Messenger, but nobody, not one person.
Yeah, I always worry about
not my cousins, not even family. I could have been dead and buried and people would never have known.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't miss I called it Facebook fatigue. I got really sick of Facebook. I got sick of looking at what people ate for dinner.
Yeah, I got a couple groups.
I really don't need to see what you had for lunch, breakfast, and dinner every day.
Well, a lot of people from Facebook have came over here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the arguing that was on Facebook also came over here. I have to go there because my Travis group's got 5,000 members in it, and then I got another group that's got 2,000 members in it. And I go over there and I post every now and then. But other than that, I don't mess around on it too much anymore. I really don't. I just go there for the groups.
Yeah, honey, I'm not on. The only other social media I was on was Facebook. I have an Instagram, which I haven't been on in years. I have a Twitter, which I barely ever go on. And I'm not even putting out my Twitter name because now I didn't realize Twitter was drama. And Diane once said Twitter was worse than YouTube. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't handle it.
I don't like Twitter for the simple fact that it only lets you put in 100 some words when you're trying to say something. I don't like anything that stifles you.
No, you don't, Brian, do you?
I really
Right,
don't.
yeah. Yeah. What is it? How many words or less? Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's kind of good. It's good discipline. Just get the point out, you know?
and I have a Twitter, but I just don't use it. But I've
That's
been
pink where you could sing. No, honey, I don't sing very well. Honey, hush. You don't know me from any singing channel. Trust me. Trust me.
Pink. It's like Pink the Entertainer, like
Yeah.
the singer Pink, you know?
Yeah. I lip sync. I can lip sync really good, but no, no.
It's the effort that counts. I can't
Yeah.
sing either, so it's 280 letters, Pugsy says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what is going on with Diane's channel neither. Maybe they're just going to cut out the whole drama community or something. But Jay's not involved in that. K Smalls isn't involved in that.
All right. Is K Small still in here? I still want to know. Did she ever answer if she got a response from AdSense? What happened? Or does anyone know if Diane?
There she is.
I mean, I would say coincidence, but there's too many people like in our community that.
Well, Becky, sometimes people abuse that First Amendment right. Because, on the streets, you don't have a right to walk up to somebody and go, nah, 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 nah. You shouldn't have that right either on YouTube.
But Brian, there are creators that do it all the time.
Oh, I know.
And they still have their AdSense.
I know. It's just like my brother channel, Dead Bug says. He says a lot of words that you can't get away with, and I don't know how he gets away with it.
Your brother has a YouTube channel?
Dead Bug says. It's my brother channel. He's not my brother, but he's got a good crime channel.
Oh, okay.
But it's not for everybody. I mean, he uses words that we don't like. He says the F word, not fuck. He says the R word. He says the N word. He gets away with all of that, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he's not been flagged yet. His channel's growing.
What's his content? Why do you think it's growing? He must do something really good.
He's got a hell of a true crime channel. He does it Mickey Spillane style. He uses the voice like Mickey Spillane back in the day, or the shadow knows, like a radio style.
Oh, okay.
And we don't know who he is. He's just like a shadow. But his stories are awesome. But you can't just go in there. He tells you, it's not for, if you're offended easily, he says this channel is not for you. Mm-hmm. But if you watch him and you just take the story and not listen to when he's making these remarks, because he sounds like he's racist and anti-gay and all this, but his stories are good.
Mm-hmm.
That's his click. His click is shock, shock value. But his stories are awesome. If people were to look at him, but somebody might be offended by what he says.
Yeah, K Small says she did not get an official email.
That's crazy.
That is right.
You should have an email. How are you supposed to correct the problem if they shut you down and they don't tell you why it was? How are you supposed to correct it if you don't know what it is?
Has anyone gone on Google or anything and looked this up? Like, my AdSense got shut down for no reason or no explanation, and giving advice who to reach out to at AdSense, or do you reach out to the Better Business Bureau because actually Google owns them? I mean, there's got to be recourse.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, my computer wants to run slow.
And then they took Mommy Rambling's earnings from April and didn't pay her.
Yeah, they don't have anything. Oh, February 28, 2019, AdSense upgrades denied without explanation. That's the only thing that's from February. My ad stopped showing 11 days ago, March 1. There's nothing new on it. I mean.
Mm-hmm. But Mommy Ramblings, for the money she earned within, before the 22nd of the month, from last month to the couple of days ago when she got her AdSense shut down, They did not pay her. They're keeping the money.
Well, that's.
But she used the commercials. The commercials were shown. People watched it. That was her earned money, and they're not giving it to her. It's like working for free.
You get AdSense to it. At least is asking
Yeah,
how.
Kay Smalls had $80, and she hasn't received it. They took her money too. Wow. Yeah, that's.
Well, then they'll just the big creators with the high numbers, they'll just stop messing with it. That's what'll happen.
No, you have to have recourse by going like outside of AdSense, outside of Google, or contacting someone higher up in Google or the Better Business Bureau or someone out there. I mean, Mommy Ramblings has a petition out there. The last time I checked was this morning, and there were over 200 signatures.
I'll sign it for her, even though she blocked me. I will sign it for
I
her.
signed it and I'm blocked. Yeah.
Well, where I don't know where it's posted at.
Go to change.org and put in Mommy Ramblings into the search.
Were you able to speak to her even though she blocked you? Has she talked to you, Pink?
No, I emailed her this morning. I haven't heard back from her.
Well, yeah, well, she should know that people are looking out for her. You know, I'm sure she would appreciate it. Like the same thing when Susan Bonds got shut down and lost all her subs. You know, there's a lot of people that stuck up for her too.
So Kay Small said they say she will get the money after 2 billing cycles after she gets reinstated. Okay. That is what they told Kay Smalls too. I will get it after I get remonetized, 2 billing cycles. Okay. But they didn't tell you why. Maybe they didn't tell Laura why. Maybe it was just assumed because Makeup Mobster put up Dr. Phil's show on her cell phone, and it was obvious, known to everybody. Oh, crap. So maybe they don't notify you. Maybe they just take it down and that's it. Figure it out. Angie Kaufman, why did she block you guys? Well, Brian just thinks because we're involved in drama. I mean, I'm not directly involved in it. I don't participate in those crazy lives, but the fact that my name's mentioned a gazillion times by Laura, maybe she just assumed that I'm part of, you know, the
I've
shit
never
show.
commented. I've never commented on her videos ever.
Yeah, me either.
You know, I'm involved in a lot of drama, so she doesn't want anything to do with it.
I didn't even watch her videos. I heard through Bella Koska last night on her video that this happened, and that's how I got word of it. I'm like, I'd never been to this woman's channel. And I was blocked, and I'm like, what? Like, I think that's a little bit too far-fetched. That's kind of not fair.
I don't know why Jennifer says Mommy would not have blocked you. Ahmad would, but I never spoke in her chats or never commented.
Right. I haven't either.
Yeah, because I just listen to her. I don't comment.
I've never been in her chats. I think I went in there maybe once just to see what her content was, and I'm just not into crime, these live things, and I'm like, no, I'm good. And that was it. That was it.
She even did a Darlie Routier thing, which is my thing, and she got some stuff wrong, and I didn't comment to her. I didn't. So I don't know. That was a while back.
Flower Child on on the petition, they do have statements in there that you don't want to be on mailing lists. They can't do that. This is a reputable petition site. And yeah, you can opt out of that, and which I did. And I've signed petitions in there before, and I've never had a problem so far.
Is that her name? I didn't know her name was Carolyn.
Who? Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just watch her.
You found it? You want to share the link in here? I don't know if I can do links in here, if I have my settings up for that.
I put a couple links into stories just a minute ago, and they went through. So stories about the AdSense.
Yeah. Oh, I think in my community page, I posted her link this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should help her out because she doesn't bother anybody.
And I heard that she depends on that money, like we all do.
I think it's her job. Yeah, I think it's her job. Just like Stephanie Harlow's, she makes a living off of it, and I hate to see something happen to her either. That's okay, Jennifer. I kind of believe that she just doesn't want anything to do with the drama. And, and my name's all over the drama, so she probably just didn't want that to come to her channel. Because earlier today somebody started on me here in Pink's channel, and I told that person twice, and Pink does not like that. So, and I wasn't gonna have it. Not on Pink's channel. She doesn't like it, and I'm just not gonna have it. And I told that person twice, and then I just blocked her because I'm not gonna have Pink kick me off her channel over that. I'm already pushing it with her. Isn't that right, Pink?
Well,
But
yeah, if you're gonna come in here and go after somebody, like email them. But I mean, I don't mind if you've got a dispute with somebody, but not in my room. You know, it's a distraction. It's not fair to my subs either. They come here for parody or for a different content other than drama, and I owe them that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we got to respect it. You make it clear that you don't want that here. And
Brian, do you still have Skittle Bop or?
Yeah, Skittlepox. He got shut down for 2 weeks because there was a song in a mashup that I made that got me flagged for 2 weeks. Yeah, because over a song.
But I've gotten warnings about songs, but I've never get striked for it.
Yeah, I've never had it happen.
The profits, any money I make goes to the creator of the song.
Well, I did all these. I had a bunch of music, rock music in it that was fine, and I put this one rap song at the end of it, and it was that rap song that got it shut down for 2 weeks. And I've never heard of a 2 week shutdown either. That's weird. All. Yeah, never. But Skittles is just going to be drama related.
But that channel's not monetized either, right?
No.
So they can do that if you're not monetized.
Yeah. Yeah. They told me what it was though. They sent me the thing and told me exactly what it was.
I thought if you're not monetized, then play all you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do these people get away with uploading like songs? Like
some songs don't do. I mean, I've got I did a video that had Eminem's song in it yesterday, and one time I brought that song up and it got me flagged, and I've got it up now and it's not flagged, but I just turned my monetization on yesterday too. It's been sitting there. See, and I just got tired of people saying your channel is not monetized, you'll never be monetized. No, I just chose not to use it. I just turned it on. It's annoying because you got to watch what you say, watch what you bring up, and when you're not monetized, you get away with a little more.
It is confusing. Yeah. Okay, Smalls. I don't know. YouTube has their own page where they do videos of people who work for the company and tell you, about the rules. I wonder if there's something specifically about that because it's confusing as hell.
Well, if somebody with a lot of subs, a high amount of subs does a video, hey, let's ask YouTube. Maybe they'll catch it and explain it. It needs to be explained to people that create, and there's a lot of people that want to make a living off of this, and it's just not fair when they don't know why they're shut. They don't know why. It wouldn't bother me if they took my monetization, but there's other people that depend on it a lot.
Right. Like I do,
And you work hard for it too. I mean,
especially with my son moving out. There goes half of my help with my mortgage. I mean, if the money comes, fine. If it doesn't, fine. I mean, I always find another way, but a little extra money is always helpful. I mean, God, the costumes I buy and
I was gonna say you can walk into Party City and spend $60-$70 easy.
Oh, if that, minimum. Yeah.
Oh, the Blue October, Chicken Little. I love that band. They're from Houston, and I absolutely love that band. I like A Quiet Mind and Into the Ocean. Hate Me's good, but I like Into the Ocean a lot. Blue October is a great band. I like their song "Hate Me," Pink. You would like it if you knew that song "Hate Me" because it's about addiction.
Who sings it?
Blue October.
I probably have heard it.
Yeah, it's called "Hate Me," and it's about a son who was addicted, and his mother tried to help him, and he never listened. And then she finally died after he got recovered, and he made a song about it. It's absolutely beautiful.
I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Little lady, it's best not to play any music. Well, when I have plans for, my future here on my channel, just temporary plans, is going to involve music and a little bit of Broadway. dance and funny though, funny. And I'm depending on especially Frank Sinatra. So we'll see. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. It's not going to be worth getting my channel shut down though either. So
I tell you, K Smalls, on that song that we're talking about, that voicemail message that he plays at the beginning of it, that's actually his mother. That's his real mother when he was addicted to heroin.
oh wow.
Put that song in there. Because I
Oh,
have to block out thoughts of you that are running across my head. It's really sad, but it's good.
what's the
good.
name of it again? I Hate You.
It's called "Hate Me" by Blue October.
Hate Me. Okay.
I think you might like it, Pink, because I know that you do the recovery thing, and this is all about recovery. But he recovered after his mother passed away, and he was singing a song about how she tried to help him. And it shows her holding him up while he's throwing up, and it's just a really good song, for anybody in recovery.
Amanda says you could only use royalty-free music if you don't want the chance of getting claimed. That's good information. I didn't know that. So I can look up royalty-free music and obviously find a list, perhaps.
Yeah, you go into Creator Studio and it'll tell you get started, and there's a whole list of music that you can use, and I use a lot of those. But you have to go through them, and they're not really that. Some of them are good, some of them aren't that good, but you can pretty much find what you want if you want to put music to your video.
Yeah, but can you go outside of that too and go find some other songs that are royalty free, or is it just the ones in YouTube?
Well, yeah, YouTube has a list, and you can find royalty free songs on other websites. But a lot of times, like if I want to use a song that I like, I record it on my voice recorder, and then I upload that part of it, which kills the algorithm. And sometimes some of my songs make it through because it's another recording. If you use it straight from a YouTube video, that algorithm is still in there. But if you take it and record it onto your voice recorder and then re-upload it into your video, it kills the algorithm. I mean, it's a cheap shot to do, but we should be able to use music that we want. We should, because music is free.
Yeah, K Smalls has done the royalty-free music. They put a claim on my music. That's like that video I did this morning on those feminist cards. It was just one of those basic, without audio, without voice music. It was all instrumental. And as soon as I uploaded it, it took away my monetization. I was pissed.
You got to watch K Smalls, even though if you're getting those songs from YouTube, the royalty-free music, some of them will say you can use this, but you have to put this in the attributes.
Right. This one didn't. Yeah.
And if you miss that, she may have missed that and it put a claim on her music because she didn't put the attribute in.
How do you put it in attributes? What's that all about?
You just put under in your show more. You just put who the band is and a link to their song, and they'll tell you that sometimes. Yeah, she's talking about the Creative Commons under YouTube audio library. There's some pretty good ones in there.
I don't know. I went through them. They all sucked. I don't know.
You really got to do some digging though to find the right song. That's you got to, you got to look. Yeah.
Creative Commons. K Small says use Creative Commons under YouTube audio library. I'm writing all this stuff down. K Smalls.
Yeah, you'll. I mean, you got to dig, but you'll find it. Man, it says they do suck. Some of them suck, yeah. But once in a while, you find a really good one, though. You just have to do a lot of digging.
Bye, Honey Hush. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your help.
They also have sound effects, Pink.
They do?
Yeah, they got sound effects. It's right next. It'll show you the music, and then there's a box right next to it that says sound effects. They're all right. They're pretty good.
And this is under Creative Studio, right?
Yeah. I've used a couple of them. Yeah, but YouTube's just going to crack down because it's like, a lot of the crap from Facebook isn't popular like it used to be. And people are coming over here. And if you're bringing a bad attitude from Facebook over to here, I mean, it's just going to fall.
Well, see, what happens is when you leave Facebook because you're so used to their rules and people, yeah, you're right. They come over with an attitude, right? So they look at YouTube as a freedom palette. You know what I mean? It's a new it's new to them, so they don't know all the rules. When they to find out, YouTube is a lot worse than Facebook. But Facebook, just like MySpace, is going to die out.
It should.
It's going to get old, and I'm thinking of all the businesses and everyone that's put millions of dollars into Facebook advertising, with their businesses, and I don't see Facebook lasting a long time. I really don't.
He's been up for a while.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He made a lot of money off of it, so
He's certainly going to sell. I'm sure he's going to sell it at some point.
Figure Skating Coach, if you like that song, then there's another one that they sing that's called Into the Ocean that you'll probably like that too. That's about coming out of addiction and living drug-free. The guy was a heroin addict before he became a rock star. I forget his name, the guy that sings, but they're from Houston. And most of their songs are about recovery and addiction.
Thanks, K Small.
Yeah. Did you see Makeup Monster's new video?
Oh, it's awesome.
I was like, yes, yes.
Girl, oh my God, she found her niche.
She's like, the hell with all this drama. Watch this.
Right, and she's going to get a lot of subs. It's all about, she's got to put it out there in the right way, though, for getting herself out there for recommendations and stuff.
Yeah, she had like 290 likes and no dislikes.
Yeah.
And I was like, you go, girl. That smile on her little boy's face was amazing.
Oh, my God.
I sat there and watched every bit of it. And I don't watch those, but it was her.
And she's good with editing. She's really good with editing.
Yeah, I was very proud of her. I'd like to see somebody that I'm inspired by do the right thing. And that's what she did. She's like, I'll just show all of y'all, and I'll just do it yourselves, and y'all kiss my butt.
Right.
And I was proud of her, and I was smiling for her.
It's usually the person that stands alone, that doesn't stand in the crowd. The person that stands alone is the successful one. She's going to do good. She's going to do really good.
Yeah, she's very smart. She knows what to get into and what not to get into. And one of the things I always liked about Makeup Monster is she did her YouTube, but she always put her family first. There'd be a lot of times you didn't see her. She'd be like, well, my son's home or my husband's home. And she would do the mom and wife thing. And that was her first priority always. And I admire her for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she hasn't talked to me much here lately. So she just kind of lay low. Maybe, that's fine.
Yeah, and she has good engagement. I mean, her content, keeps you engaged.
Yes, and her content. And another thing that really draws people to her is her voice.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the most adorable voice with that little lisp, and people know you can recognize her voice anywhere if she's talking. And that's a good thing to have if you're going to be out there in public like that. Is a voice like that.
Yeah,
because it's like a I don't know. Her symbol is her voice.
Yep.
I was so happy. I was so happy watching her in that garage. I'm sitting there watching this thing. She's making this stuff for her kids, and I'm watching this thing. And I'm thinking, what kind of car is that behind her?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out what kind of car it was, and I was going to ask her what
Yeah, Elisa says she's making birdhouses. Very creative thinking. Pink, you said it. I did. How many times have I said, all these people in the drama community, right? You really, you're gonna, spare your integrity and reputation, and for views this way. I'm telling you, make a bird house, put it under DIY, and you will get subs like you won't believe.
I saw a channel that was she would buy rocks. And she would draw on these rocks. She'd put art on the rocks, and then she'd go hide it somewhere. And it would have her information on it, and people would mail her back and let her know where they found them and send pictures. And her channel blew up. She was hiding rocks, and people were taking these rocks. And once you find it, you mail her where you found it at, and then you hide it again, and someone else would find it. And that worked really well for that person.
Yeah, that is creative.
Yeah, just the little rocks. But yeah, I like seeing Makeup Monster. She's gonna do good things. She's gonna do good things to her channel. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I smiled. It was 24 minutes long. And I'm sitting there going, "Yes, you go, girl."
Yeah.
Piss on everybody. Watch this. That's all I'm thinking. Watch this.
Yeah, Todd, it was. It was really it was a beautiful video.
And she was able to keep her family and her YouTube all in one,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, put them together. You very rarely see her husband come on. He was on there smiling, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So she's fixed that whole situation.
I want to know where she got that toy barbecue. Oh my God, that's the bomb. Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yes.
It makes the crackling noises and everything. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I watched every bit of it. Usually something like that, I won't. But it was Leanna, you know, and I was just proud of her for it.
So you guys, what you need to do is go to Makeup Mobster's channel, like and subscribe to her if you haven't. But what you need to do also is share her video over into your Facebook, your
Mm-hmm.
Twitter accounts,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram,
Yep.
anywhere you can,
Mm-hmm.
network her, because that was a phenomenal
She was in
DIY.
she was in my Remembering Travis Alexander true crime group. That's been up for years, and it's got like 5,000 people in it. And I'm gonna take her video and put it over there just because
Absolutely. And ask people to share.
yeah, share it. Yeah, and she has a
Mhm.
presence, you know, because she's pleasant on the eyes, plus her voice, plus doing things for your family. Anytime you do something for a kid,
Exactly.
and that's when he came in and he was smiling. I felt so good for him. I just wanted to go in there play.
Right? That I was just gonna say that, Brian, that she was good with interacting with him and playing with him,
Yeah.
and it makes you want to play. Like I wanted to go over there too and be like, I want a hot dog, you
Mm,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Very proud of her.
Unbelievable.
Very proud of her. The best way to get people back
Yep,
who
she
tried to
did
hurt
it.
you is to become successful without them.
Yep.
And Makeup Monster
Ingenuity.
she
Yeah.
is going to be very successful if she continues to do things like that.
Yeah. He was. Her little boy was excited, little lady. Oh my God, the smile on his face when he walked through that door.
He looks just like her when she was a kid.
He's
Before
so
she had her
sweet.
nose job and all that stuff. He looks just like her. I was like, you go, girl.
Todd says, also, may I say that the video Brian did with his girls was worth more than all his other videos put together. No disrespect, man. It showed true love.
I've done several videos with my girls, but you know, I have haters and they say things, and I don't like to put my girls up that much. But yeah, my kids are definitely daddy's girls, and I like having them on, but I don't like people picking at me and using them.
Yeah. Hey, don't block that avatar yet that has the Arabic in there. I'm not sure if that's one of my friends or
You're gonna try and see what that says, right?
no. Well, I can't. I can speak some Arabic, but I cannot. Na me famo chicken I can't read Arabic.
I remember that you said that your late husband was he Arabic or something?
Who's I'm from Afghanistan.
Yeah. So
I'm from my family's from Syria.
Syria. Yeah, I knew a friend.
Mhm.
I have a friend that was from Syria. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna try and translate that and see what we got.
Yeah. Can you copy that?
Yeah, I got a copy, and it should translate if I just put it straight into Google. And if it's bad, I won't read it out. uh, well, it's coming up a music video. Let me see. Let me see. It's coming up a music video.
How did you copy that?
I just backspaced and copied.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Translate.
I can't tell myself.
I need the detector to come on. Detect the language.
It's Arabic. I'm pretty sure. Or Persian.
It says, and he has Sharani as a ruler.
Okay, it's Arabic.
I don't know what Sharani is. Is that something?
Sharani?
Sharani. And he has Sharani as a ruler as well. What it says. Looking up Sharani and Zayn.
It's from he's a Pashtun. So it's like a tribe, a group. So I'd say he's from probably Oh, Pakistani, yeah, because they have the Shiites and the Shiranis, and yeah,
Well, at least it wasn't something bad, you know.
yeah, yeah. He's probably the nicest guy. God,
Yeah,
just kind of recruit, right?
Alyssa,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's from the
and
Pashtun tribe. I'm
we
pretty
were doing
sure.
we were doing the video, and
Oh,
did you?
actually, they're in Afghanistan too. So I'm wondering.
I don't know. Somebody messing with you or something? I don't know.
No, assalamu alaikum. Are you still here?
Assalamu alaikum.
Tatoyasi. Na me famon chicken like Hobbistown.
It sounded like you said something about chicken.
No.
I said I heard chicken. My algorithm is food. Yeah. Listen, I was gonna say, but the juicing video was good until my daughter went and said, "Jesus Christ," and I said, "Don't you say that."
Oh.
I was so mad at her for that. I was like, "Don't do that." I said, "Where'd you get that from?" And she said, "I don't know. I heard it at church." I said, "Well, you're not supposed to repeat that." And I was like, "Man," and I gave her a talking to. I said, "I'm not gonna put you on live if you're gonna embarrass Dad like that again."
Yeah.
But she didn't mean it in a bad way. It just she shouldn't have said it.
So they're on YouTube for kids, right?
Yeah.
How's that going for them?
Well, they like the YouTube for kids. I mean, it really protects them. That little Kindle thing that we got, it really it does all the parental controls for us. We set it one time, and that they can't get into any adult videos at all whatsoever. Now they can't get into mine or nothing. But they
I've
go on
heard,
it. They
but
play.
I've heard people are sneaking in stuff like with children's stories, and there's like these messages, or I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt if that people were doing stuff like that, but I haven't seen any of it yet. And those things notify us. Those little Kindles are lifesavers because it gives them something to do where they're not pestering us so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy with them because the controls on it are really good.
Mac and cheese, that's okay. She wanted to know if her husband speaks some Arabic from being in the army. No, he's not being bothersome. Not yet.
Uh, I I don't know what that meant.
He just might leave us alone now that he knows that I'm part Arabic.
Yeah, that's cool that you can speak that, Pink.
Not a lot. A lot of bad stuff I can speak.
Can you? Oh, you know all the bad words, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty fluent in that.
Yeah.
Good
Where
night,
did
Kate Smalls. Rest
where did
well.
where did Hello Starlight go?
She probably fell asleep.
Did she? You know what? She is so bad about getting back to people.
Tell me about it. Oh, I promise I'll call you right back. Okay, 3 days later.
But when you do get a hold of her, she'll talk to you.
Yeah, she's like 3 days later. She goes, "Are you mad at me?" I'm like, "No, not at all." Like,
I'm glad.
I've been sitting here for 3 days waiting for your call.
I'm glad that she's able to enjoy YouTube now, no matter how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And she's enjoying it now, and she's a good person. I hate to see all this bickering, because I'm friends with both sides, and it puts me in a spot sometimes. They're the Kindle Light, the Fires, and I got a deal actually when I bought two of them. The ones with the styrofoam, and they are on them. When they come home, they'll eat, and we make them do their homework and clean up, and they will stay on them constantly. And you can they got a 2-year warranty on that. If anything happens to it, they'll replace it.
Ash said that that Arabic. He was posting the name of his Twitter. It pulled up on a Twitter account when she put it into Google.
Blaze, this is not a cigarette. I'm sorry.
Bye, Lily Rose. Thanks for coming in.
When everybody goes to bed, that's when I like to do my thing. This is not a cigarette. I won't do that again.
So, Brian, what crime topics are you going to talk about?
I don't
Anything
know.
new coming up?
I just did the one about August Ames, who was the porn star who was she was bullied on Twitter to the point where she killed herself. because she refused to do a scene with a male crossover who also did a man on man's. And she just said that she wanted him to take an HIV test before she did a scene with him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people were bashing her for that as if she were a gay basher or she was picking on him or nothing, even though she herself did girl on girl scenes. And it bothered her so bad that she drove her car up to a park in California. She took off all of her clothes. She walked to the nearest street and hung herself.
Oh my God.
It only took 2 days of bullying. So I tried to put the issue we're dealing with here, it was the bullying and the true crime together, and I found that story. I almost had her husband to come on and talk with me, but he backed out of it, and it really upset me. I think somebody emailed him saying, "Stay away from that guy," blah blah blah. But it was a good story, and the reason that she became a porn star in the first place is because she had been molested by her grandfather all her life. And so it goes into it's a lot more than just true crime in that story. And I want to try to do them that way.
So do you really think, Brian, that it was over 2 days of bullying? I would always think that there's something else going on that just manifested into like that was the last straw. It was just like more shit that to have to deal with.
It was the bullying. It was, even though she had a little bit of background of depression and stuff like that, it was the bullying because she found her niche. She wasn't good at anything else. She worked for like places like Subway and she wasn't good at it. And she found her niche, and she was really popular in the adult film industry. So it was the embarrassment. It was being it wasn't gay bashing. She did plenty of scenes that you would consider girl on girl. If you were a gay basher, you wouldn't do that. She just wanted to protect her body.
Right. So Mac and Cheese asked, legally, what can they do to the people who bullied her? Was anyone held accountable?
Absolutely nothing. And then when people told her, why don't you go kill yourself? Nothing. And that brings me back to the other case where the kid was in the truck.
Yeah, that's in Massachusetts. That's near me.
Right. And she got, what? Did she get, I think she got upwards of 12 years for that.
Yeah.
But she was telling him to do it. And there were many people in the adult industry that were telling her, go kill yourself.
Right. But see, this case in Massachusetts, you'll see now that, other states are going to follow suit with that, and people are going to be held accountable.
You should
just on some level.
You should never encourage someone to kill themselves.
No.
Never. And I think another thing as far as the drugs go, I think these heroin dealers that are selling, they should be charged with attempted murder.
They are. In Massachusetts, they are.
I think that should be nationwide.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Yeah.
And Massachusetts is the first state that has a lawsuit against Purdue, Big Pharma, America, that they're holding Purdue now responsible for all the overdose deaths. And they just filed a lawsuit, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
And that's the first lawsuit that Purdue that has been filed against the drug maker of OxyContin, to hold these assholes accountable for misrepresentation of that drug, saying it was not addicting. Mm-hmm. I was working with a slew of doctors during that time, and there were bonuses, there were free trips that they were put under, business meetings. I saw fraud left and right like you wouldn't believe when that drug came out.
Yeah, and then we have the issue with the Narcan, where ambulances and emergency teams are having to respond to the same people over and over and over, overdosing. Well, our city will only do that 3 times. If they've come out to you 3 times and they get another call on an overdose on you, they're not coming. You're not getting Narcan. You're dying.
What do they say? They're not going to send an ambulance?
They're not going to give you the Narcan.
Narcan.
Yeah, that stuff.
Well, that will change because that's they'll find some constitutional right that
doesn't that violate HIPAA? If you know that someone is going to die and you don't like it, you're as a doctor or
that's neglect. If you were a doctor, if I was a nurse, you're mandated. I mean, I would lose my license for that. I don't care if they overdose 10 times. You have to treat that. You have to treat that person.
All right, but on the other hand, they're showing the figures of the billions of dollars that is being spent on that from the taxpayers.
No, they're just looking for an excuse.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's an addiction. That's bound to happen. It's an addiction. It's been medically deemed a disease of the brain. You cannot refuse someone treatment
Right.
for addiction.
I think
It's
a better
not
route.
about choice in the person. It's the addiction that causes the person to keep going back and doing it again and again. And you cannot fault that person and say
Right.
we're not gonna
Right.
treat you.
Right. I think a better route would be if the first time they have to come out and hit you with the narcon, that's make it a crime on the person for drug abuse.
It won't do anything. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I know it
No.
won't do anything, but
No.
instead of not giving them help, make it a crime for drug abuse, and the first time carries 30 days, the second time carries 6 months.
Nope. Their chances of recovery are better without a crime slapped at them and get them into recovery as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, there is the only rock bottom there is left is death with drug addiction, okay? Or alcohol is death. There's no scared straight. There's no, we're going to throw you in jail. You're going to learn your lesson. It's not heroin anymore. It's fentanyl. It's fentanyl. If you can find heroin out there, you won't. It's all fentanyl now.
Well, I tell you, my recovery was easy. Mine personally was easy because I went to Narcotics Anonymous and I followed that program 100%. And then when I got my recovery, I sponsored, I did 12-step calls. I worked that program and didn't need rehab. I think if you get to a certain point where you're sick of it, you're tired of it messing with your life, you're tired of all the garbage, and you want it out of you, and you follow the program of Narcotics Anonymous. I also went to Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't feel like I was alcoholic, but it helped. And it was really good to give back, to be able to do 12-step calls and sponsor people, and that's how I kept my recovery.
Right, but Brian, too, the drugs now are more powerful. They're manufactured illegally, with more powerful opioids that are so addicting and it's just what worked for those in recovery years ago. It's just harder now. Because you're dealing with a demon, you really, of fentanyl, of these horse tranquilizers. These people who just asked it, Half Pint asked, as an RN herself, who the heck regulates how many times you can have Narcan? Obviously, the state is regulating it, and they're not going to get away with it. They won't, because they're going to have too many ramifications for that. They'll be charged with murder. You guarantee it. Guarantee it. They'll be charged. If you refuse to give someone Narcan, how dare you? That is refusing someone medical care. That's your right to medical care. Right. Okay.
If they could charge Kevorkian with murder when it was people that they were suffering and wanted to die, they should be able to charge these people that are refusing help. Whoever goes out on that scene and says, no, don't give him that person should be charged. I believe, I agree with that. You're right. You got to, if you sign on to save people's lives, one, you go to school for it, but you're compensated very well. And if you sign on to do that, you should never walk past anyone that's dying.
Yeah. Pamela H. says some pharmacies are offering Narcan free to anyone on opiates for chronic pain. Let me tell you something. Why don't they give Narcan free to those with acute drug addiction, okay? Not this chronic pain, because what's happening is there's a stigma now. There are people who are in chronic pain who do need pain medication. So now they're going to focus on those people and say, hey, we're going to give you Narcan for free, just in case you overdose. But, your next door neighbor or your son who, is addicted to heroin or, fentanyl, right. We're not giving him nothing for free. That will be $90 if he wants, it's just such a farce.
What do you think about methadone? What do you think about these methadone clinics that change one drug for another? What do you think?
Well, that's just the stigma. It's out there. Well, you're just substituting one drug for another. Okay. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is you're preventing somebody, hopefully, from going and abusing illicit drugs that can kill you. Methadone used correctly, okay, is a safe alternative. Okay. It doesn't define a person as still, you're an active addict. Okay. Mm-hmm. As long as it's done properly, it's under care of a physician. okay, there's nothing wrong with it. The same with Suboxone, okay?
Yeah.
As long as that person is using it, it's up to the doctors to monitor their patients for drug screening, for levels of Suboxone. In the minute they screw up, you're off of it. There's consequences to everything. But if you have a child and they have a chance, because sometimes they can't do it on their own, even with a program, even with detox. Sometimes people have to be a methadone the rest of their life. It's an addiction, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's okay as long as it's not abused. And the people who really use Suboxone and methadone the right way are getting a bad rap. A lot of these online support groups are very anti-Suboxone, but I'll tell you something. If it means a parent can sleep at night, okay, knowing that their son is on Suboxone and not taking heroin, okay, that's a miracle right there. That's a miracle right there.
Right. Well, see, April said you don't get high, but I also know that people some people will sell their methadone if they're getting it. So
right. So it's up to whoever is distributing the methadone. Okay, you have to monitor these people. You just don't give it to them and say, or come back every day to get it. There are clinics where it's in liquid. You have to take it right in front of them. Those in recovery are not given methadone like a prescription, and say, here's a bottle of 90. And if that does slip through, okay, you drug screen them and you monitor the levels of the drug in their urine. There are different levels. So for the amount of milligrams, say somebody is on, per day, that drug screen, that urine screen should reflect that in toxicology. It might not be enough. The level might be low or it might be too high, which shows that person is not using their prescription as it was prescribed.
I remember you talked about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, I traded one drug for another. I had a bad cocaine habit. But I didn't smoke pot. And when I got my recovery from the cocaine, I started smoking weed. and I think that a lot of the pharmaceutical companies that are giving us stuff like Prozac and all these the drugs that have these bad side effects. I think when Nixon Schedule II marijuana, that his family was involved in the pharmaceuticals, which is much worse than marijuana. There's a lot of people that use it just for their medical, like Nicole. She didn't like it when she first met me. She's like, you're not going to smoke that shit. So I quit for a while. But we lived in Colorado at the time, and she was looking up this thing that says that it'll help with her epilepsy. And this is somebody who was totally against it. And she said, can you get me some of that shit? I said, yeah, I got her some. And she was having 5 or 6 seizures a day. And from the first time she smoked, they slowed down to like 2 a day and then 1 a day. And then she went 4.5 years with no seizures. And she was having them every day. So now she's on it. I don't think I'm addicted anymore, Stephanie. I really don't. Because I'll be out and around and people, and if they're doing it, if they're snorting lines or whatever, it doesn't even bother me. It's like, because I don't want that shit. You know what I mean?
Right. It's also probably because you worked on yourself through a program. Detox is one thing, but detox is the easy part. Recovery is the hard part. So if you're in a program, like say, for example, a 12-step program, once you work on yourself, on your inner self, and you learn how to deal with your triggers, you focus on relapse prevention, okay? And it may take a long time. You're going to get to a point where when you're around someone with alcohol or with marijuana, it won't be such a problem for you. Chicken Little says, my 17-year-old straight-A student is failing all of her classes. Since December, she just admitted she has been using drugs, Xanax, acid, and Molly's. Just found this out, not sure what to do. So the first thing you need to do is reach out to her doctor, okay, and get her into treatment immediately, fast, okay. It's good that she talked to you about it, and you don't want it to go, you don't want it because she's going to build up an immunity to these drugs, and then she's going to go for something stronger. So the best thing to do is reach out. Does she have a doctor, a primary care physician? You start there, and then you work with the insurance. If you have insurance, you work with the insurance company to get her into a rehab where a 17-year-old can go. And that your doctor should have information, or definitely your insurance company.
Yeah, Stephanie, I was gonna say I've been snow free. I call myself snow free for about 14 years, and I wasn't into pills or anything else, any of that. Like I don't feel like I'm addicted to it anymore. I really don't, because I have friends that too, and it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't, and they know not to slide it my way. It doesn't. I don't have any craving or anything. But once I felt like I was good enough to call myself recovered, I started doing the 12 steps and sponsoring people, and I gave it back, and I saw other people recover too, and that I just honestly, I don't think I'll ever touch that stuff again. I really don't. But that was all I was dealing with. There's other people out there I've never done meth, I've never heroin or any of that, and I don't think cocaine is addicting as those drugs. I really don't.
Okay, so somebody asked, what is Suboxone? So that's also known, if you've heard the name buprenorphine. Oh, I cannot. I always call it naloxone, buprenorphine, right? um, I don't have a license to dispense that. Like any doctor or like nurse practitioner would need like a special license. It's more doctors to dispense. Naloxone. So what it is, it's a partial opiate agonist. So it blocks the opiate receptors in the brain, and it reduces the person urges so they don't go through withdrawals. And it all, but aside from that, it reduces their urge. Okay, the need to want to use. Okay, and again, when you first prescribe that to someone struggling with addiction, they have to be monitored, and there's certain guidelines that a physician has to go by when they get their license to dispense this, and that is monitoring their patient, frequent drug screens, only prescribing like a week supply at first, or even 4 days at first, and they have to come back. And they have to sign it like a contract. So if they don't adhere to what this doctor, is giving this box on, and if the patient is not adhering to what he or she needs to do, then they're usually cut off, and they're no longer eligible from that physician anyway to because Suboxone can be abused. But a lot of people, they want to be on it, they want to stop, and it's just not a quick fix. I mean, when you first start on Suboxone, you've got people who've been struggling for years in addiction who, still have urges. It takes a while, Suboxone, to kick in. You got to find a therapeutic dose depending on what your drug of choice was, how much you used. But in the beginning, it's tough. And that's where they need the most monitoring, because, they'll sell them. They call it speedballing. They'll take that with other drugs, with methadone. So these people really need to be closely monitored. But you've got a lot of people too, who want recovery, and there are just some people who go to detox just for a week or 3 weeks because they ran out of drugs and they can't find any to buy on the street. So they go to detox, and everyone's like, oh, thank God, he or she finally, wants help. And then, 3 days of detox are 4 now, and they're out the door because Johnny, says, oh, I get drugs for you, and they're out. It's really individualized, and but you've got to look at everyone who walks through those doors looking for recovery as just that. They want recovery. And everyone deserves that chance. Everybody is worthy of getting help. Nobody wakes up and says, you know what, I want to be a drug addict. Nobody does that. Nobody.
I got to the point where I wasn't functioning, and I was spending way too much money. And for me, to be honest with you, it was how much I was spending on this crap that really told me, this is bullshit, and you need to stop. And if you get to it in your head that you need to stop, if you tell yourself that you need to stop, and you work the simple programs and follow it, you'll be able to. But then again, I wasn't on something as addictive as heroin.
Exactly. Stephanie, do you want to come up, honey?
Yeah, Stephanie's an inspiration to me.
She does, and she's in recovery.
Yeah, and I knew that too. But even without that, she's an inspiration to me. I like her a lot. She'll put me in my place. I like her.
She's a smart girl.
Yeah, she is. And her and Nikki together. Oh my God. I would hate to debate those two together on any topic. You guys, they fit. Is Stephanie going to come up? What's happening, Ben?
Why can't I find her name? Robbie Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Robbie Brown.
Yeah, Stephanie, tell us all about it.
I'm sub to her, so I don't know. Stephanie, if you want to come up, just Google Hangout me your email address.
Well, she's saying that she's laying in the bed.
Oh, okay. All right. She can't.
I had somebody do that to me the other night. I was laying in the bed. They asked me to come on, and I'm like, "No, I'm laying here. I can't even get my tablet. I got a tablet back there." Yeah,
does anybody want to come up that has anything to share about recovery or any aspect of alcohol or drug addiction?
Since we got on it, just
and if anybody is currently in addiction, you can still come up if you want to.
I'll tell you another thing I did that helped me is I went through I took the classes through Ohio Credentialing Board to get my CCDC 1, and I actually went to work for a while and I was doing assessments and treatment plans for people with Eastway of Dayton, but I kind of felt bad about it because I was trying to tell people, this is why you don't want to do drugs, but then I'd go home and get stoned. So I didn't feel right about it, but it still helped me, to maintain. My problem was with cocaine. And somebody said, well, I'll smoke a joint, you'll feel a lot better. And I was like, so I tried it. And people give me shit. They say, well, you traded one for another. Well, the other one wasn't. I snorted up houses, cars, lots of money. Weed doesn't cost that much. And it helps me with my back. It's more acceptable now. But here we go. As addicts, we're going to make an excuse for the drug that we're using.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, back in the 80s when cocaine was pretty prevalent as a social drug, if you got too high, it was like, here, take a Quaalude, come down. It was craziness out there, but it was such a socially accepted drug that people really felt, you'd walk into and I was a disco queen big time. Okay. I will admit I did coke a few times. I didn't get addicted to it, thank God. But you'd walk into a club and literally on the bar, you would see a line of coke and people would be like, yeah, you want some? And it'd be like, it was just there. Like you would order a drink. It was insane. And, thank God it's a drug that's not addicting like an opiate is. Right. But still people would get carried away and, couldn't get away from it. And
Coke was like the rich man's high. It would not only does it mess with your body, it clean your pockets out. But they say that drug addicts are stupid. But I think that if somebody can maintain a $300-400 a day habit, that's not dumb. I understand the people like that smoke crack and people that do heroin and stuff. They have to hustle; they get sick. That's why I was always afraid of heroin. People always say, "Oh, you might want to try and bang one time," but I'm watching them 2 days later sick because they don't have this drug. Puking shit.
2 days later, 6 hours later, 4 hours later.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing them die, shaking and stuff. And then they got to the point, a couple of friends, they got to the point where they would have to do the drug just to be normal.
That's usually what it is. It's like a person in chronic addiction that they don't even get high anymore. Or they have to go, they don't even to get to the point where they feel higher, death will get them first. Death will get them first, not the high. Chicken Little, do you want to come up on panel? You don't have to.
I remember going to an NA meeting with my twin's mother. Her name was Heather. And they said in there, there's probably 30 people. They said, somebody in this room is going to die from this drug, this addiction. And we were both in recovery and she worked it really well. But 10, 12 years later, she died of a heroin overdose. Mm-hmm. And it sticks in my head because somebody in this room is going to die from this, and it was her. And I never could understand that last time I saw her. She was like, "Oh, I only do it a little bit," and then about 2 weeks later, she was dead from it.
Well, it's mostly fentanyl now, and it's just like one grain of rice. The size of one grain of rice is enough to kill you. Where um, anyone who uses heroin. And I keep just wanting to refer to fentanyl because if you see the bags out there now, I work with the police station because, you know, when they have someone, they've arrested someone, they have a choice here in Massachusetts to go to recovery. And we're angels out there, we're volunteers that we get a call, we go to the police station, we stay with that person struggling with drug addiction until they get to a safe, like detox. Some of them get on a plane. In order to find any open bed across the United States. You know, we make it happen. And that's what you see. It's white. It's not even, heroin is like a light brown, tannish. This is white. This is pure fentanyl. And you'll find a lot of people who succumb to heroin overdose. The needles are still in their arm. They
Yeah,
didn't even have a chance to get it out of their arm.
and that's common because I've heard of that. Yeah, it's common.
Yeah. So mac and cheese, if you want to come up, I mean, not mac and cheese, Chicken Little. Otherwise, you know, you really need to reach, you got to be proactive like now and reach out in the morning to her physician um, and get her help. She needs treatment. She can't do this on her own.
All
You
right.
know, a lot of people think, well, you know, there's a shame factor to it. And unfortunately, that stigma is lifting because everyone I think we know is affected or touched by addiction in one way or the other. So, you know, you got to find a place for her where first and foremost, Xanax is very difficult to detox off of, very difficult, the benzoids. And she needs to be monitored closely. And the doctor may even suggest, because sometimes if you're so far into addiction, you know, the doctor may say, okay, here's, you know, so many Xanax, just take these. We're going to wean you down. You can't do that. It's so hard, so hard. So she may have to be put into, you know, a medically supervised clinic where they can watch her carefully.
I messed with Xanax for a while, and it's very addictive, like Valium,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the, I mean, not to the buzz off of that. I mean, it's hard to get off of. It was hard. I went from the little peaches to the footballs to I had to take 4 or 5 bars to catch a buzz, and then you don't remember anything. And you did stupid shit. It's like you're instantly drunk when
Mm-hmm.
you take those. I could see people who do struggle with that. I can see how hard Xanax would be to get off of for a lot of people.
Yeah, the patients that I've had who are trying to get off of Xanax have had to go into treatment, into a hospital setting. Chicken Little said she doesn't want help. She said she'll run away. Well, you've got to remember, you're the parent, okay? All right, so you're in the driver's seat, not her, okay? And she's under 18, even if she was not under 18, depending on what state. And I believe there's like 40 states now who've put through that you can section your loved one um, into help through the courts if they refuse to do it on their own.
Isn't Xanax an antidepressant? Isn't it localized that way?
No, it's for anxiety, Brian, anti-anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. What it does, Crown Royal was asking, what it does is when you take them, you're like instantly drunk, and it just relaxes your entire body. It messes with your memory, and it lasts for a long time. And that's the thing. It's they're cheap and they last for a long time. And I mean, it really relaxes your body. And I can see how people could struggle for years trying to get off of that. And I didn't even like pills. And I didn't like pills, but the Xanax, yeah, I would take those. It's like no question. Benzos are the hardest to get off of.
I believe Minnesota, you can court order your loved one struggling with addiction into treatment. Hold on, let me look it up. I have a whole list here. Massachusetts, Michigan. Oh, maybe not. Oh shit.
I think some people need to be forced. I mean, I honestly believe that. But then again, sometimes when you try to force someone into recovery, it backfires and they get worse. But if it's your child, that's a little bit different.
Well, I think it's a little bit different now. I think people are so sick, and those struggling in addiction are sick and tired of struggling in addiction, that they may not like it the first time, or the second time, but I'm telling you, when they keep going back, something's gonna stick. They're gonna walk away with something, okay? That's gonna be a light bulb in their head, okay? And it might not work the first time. It might not work the 10th time. I'm telling you from experience, okay? But eventually, you can't give up hope. You cannot give up hope. You can't be disappointed. And the minute your child walks out of a detox or a rehab and say, that's it, I'm done.
Yep.
You can't do that. You've got to find hope somewhere, that little glimmer of hope, put one foot in front of the other, and you try again, and you try again.
Yeah.
And you just keep trying.
And even when you get your recovery and you write your goodbye letter to that drug and you're doing well, you still have to suffer for years because you're still dealing with the wreckage of your past, the people that you harmed to get to your drug, the things that you did. Some of those things carry on with you, and that's another part of recovery. You once you get that recovery, you still have to deal with the crap you did to maintain your addiction. Because you hurt people along the way. Addicts always hurt people along the way.
Mm-hmm. There is a place in Minnesota called the Hazel and Betty Ford It's the Hazel and Betty Ford Foundation, Alcohol and Drug Rehab for Teens and Youth Adults in Plymouth, Minnesota.
There you go.
Okay. Now, distance, I'll tell you something. I don't know where Plymouth is in compared to where you live in Minnesota, but we place people who from the East Coast, even into treatment centers in California. Okay. So it's not a matter of convenience. It's a matter of you've got to get your loved one into treatment wherever it may be.
Right.
But the best thing you can do is where your daughter's refusing, you've got to reach out to her pediatrician or if she's with an adult care doctor at this point, you have to start the dialogue, okay, and start with her physician. And he'll guide you. He can guide you better than I can, I'm sure, as far as what's available in your area and what your resources are.
Norma's asking to call.
Don't wait for her to say okay. You can't do that. You just can't. That's long gone those days. You've just got to be proactive. Call her doctor. She's still a minor, so you still have a right to her medical records, and talk to her physician and let him start that ball rolling. But I'd do it tomorrow. Give him a call tomorrow.
Norma was asking to call in and speak up a little bit. Pink.
Who?
Norma.
Hold on. Can she send me, put her email here? I don't see her. Hold on.
I don't want to say her last name wrong. It looks like Guerrera.
Can she say something in the chat so I can see her come up?
There you go.
It's Bella.
Bella Koska. That's a cool name.
Gina?
Pink's watching the chat now, Todd. Norma's not back yet. Yeah, there you go, Chicken Little. An hour is almost perfect. It's
okay. Yeah, but still reach out to her. Does she have a physician?
Is that your real name, Bella Koska? Well, you don't have to answer that, but that's cool. It just kind of rings.
April's in Massachusetts. Me too. Hi, honey. Hi, Matt. From one mass hole to another. That's what they call us here. Mass holes.
Mass holes.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see your temper, Pink, because I know you got one.
Oh, I like to throw things. Always did, even when I was a kid. I like to throw things. Not at people. I'm mindful of people. Okay, I just throw it over your head. I did that to my ex-husband once. I made pork chops, true story. And he's like, and he was so good to me, but he's like, geez, Paul, he goes, these pork chops are a little bit tough, right? And I had a long day, 2 babies, and I'm like, really? And I had this beautiful, I was a good cook. I had this beautiful wine sauce that I marinated it in, and he's like, yeah, a little tough, right? And I'm like, yeah, really, honey? All right, I'll tenderize it for you. I swear to God, he was sitting at the kitchen table, and I took that pork chop, I whipped it across the kitchen. It hit the wall above his head, stuck to the wall, and just kind of slid down the wall. And I go, there you go. There's your tenderized pork chop.
I would have washed it off and ate it to piss you off.
Who wants to come up? I still don't see Norma. Don't tell me she's blocked.
She must have backed out. No, she's not blocked. She hasn't spoke since you said so.
Well, you may have seen her, but I don't know if I can see her.
Yeah. Maybe she'll pop back in.
Anyone want to come up that has experience with addiction or dealing with a loved one struggling, or alcohol also? Alcohol is a drug. Those in recovery, if you're actively struggling right now, you're welcome, if you want to, if you're welcome to join.
Bella, if you come on the Hangout option, we'll give you the option to turn your camera off. You'll see it. It's right next to the muting. She said she wants to. Bella would like to come on, but she doesn't want to come on camera, which is fine. You can just turn your camera off.
Yeah, Bella.
You'll see it at the top.
All right, hold on.
Like. Let me see here. Where am I? Like right here. You click into this, and that's what it'll do. You just turn your camera off and then bring your avatar up.
Bella, can you send me your email or put it in here if you're comfortable with it? I don't know why, we're subbed. Why don't you just show up on my list?
There you go. Okay, I didn't know if you knew. I've never seen you on a panel anywhere before, Bella. I'm still trying to figure out how to send people a link to my Hangout. I don't know how to do that, so I have to have when people want on.
Oh, it's easy, Brian. You just go to the top of the screen. You see a little person, and you click it, and it says invite.
Right before you start your.
No, even right now, while I'm in here, right? I see you, I see me, and right above, if you toggle your cursor up to the top, a vertical panel shows up, and there's a person with a plus sign that says invite people. There's a microphone to mute microphone. There's volume, settings, and leave call.
I see the settings. I don't see the person though. I see the microphone and the volume and the settings and the phone. I see a chat.
You don't see next to the microphone?
Oh, I found a screen share.
No. Above, see how your avatar is in the middle?
Yeah.
Or mine is when we talk?
Right.
So right above the avatar, up there, there's a...
I got a microphone, the camera, the volume, the settings, and a phone.
Well, you know what it is? You've got to go into your settings and enable invite people. But not these settings, through the app. You got to go through the app settings and click over. There's a choice, that green button that goes back and forth. Mm-hmm. You have to enable it where it says invite people. And then your invite person will show up on that.
Okay. But I do see a screen share that I didn't see.
Look at Pink telling people how to run their apps and stuff. Pretty amazing, huh?
Wow. See, I never had this screen share option before. See, I'm still getting used to this. I didn't used to do lives or do panels or anything.
Bella, you've got my cell phone. Email me. Send me your email. I can't get you up on... I have to put your email in.
How does that work? Is it screen sharing?
No, you've got to do it through the app itself, not up here. You can't do it through here.
Oh, no. I know what you mean, Pink, but I seen the screen share thing on the other side, and I'm wondering what it's doing now.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not screen sharing though. Yeah, it is. Well, I just learned something new, so I'm gonna turn that off because it looks kind of crazy in your YouTube.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I think Boyd did that.
Wow.
Where
Okay.
people can see the chat.
And see, I never had that screen share option before. I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, because that's screwing it up on my side. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
like
There
that.
we go. All right, I was just playing. It should be off now.
All right.
Is Bella gonna call in?
I don't know. I told her to text my cell phone so I can. I gotta put her email in.
Well, that's cool. See, I figured I learned something new. Because before, like 5 months ago, I never went on panels. I did podcasts and radio shows, but I never went on panels, and I didn't know how to work the live or none of it.
So I need Norma Guerrera's email. Or hold on. Let me sub to her. Wait a minute, Bella.
You can see her now, right?
Channel. I'm sub to Bella, but if I put her name in, let me go to Norma.
Yeah, I see Bella around a lot. I haven't subbed to her. I'll have to check that out.
Where did Norma go?
She's right up there. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth post from the bottom is her. This is what I'm seeing in your chat.
Hold on.
I like that picture better. That's when I lost a lot of weight and I didn't have like 6 chins. Posted it twice. I'm glad I can see figure skating coach again. She just got blocked off my channel and she wasn't on my block list and I wasn't on her block list and we couldn't see each other. She was my mod. And then I had to go to actually Google Hangouts and I unblocked everybody off of Google Hangouts. And the next day I saw her again. I don't know what happened. She doesn't bother nobody. She's a good mod too. You mod for several channels, don't you?
So Norma typed something in again. So, oh, thanks, Bella. Hold on.
You know, in that picture right there, D-Rod, I had just lost about 65 pounds.
Norma, okay.
And now I've got it all back. So I got to go back to juicing. I rode my bike today for about 3 hours. I put on almost 20 miles. Then I come back in and sit down and watch this live. But I've been trying to eat a bunch of greens and stuff and do a little more exercise. Because I do not like being big.
See, I'm sub to Norma, but I can't. If I type in her name, like I need her email. All right, let me do Bella first.
I don't know. My channel's hard to mod now. You know, I get myself in fixes sometimes, but I'll put you back on over there if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I cleaned up pretty good, Bella Costco. I looked better when I lost all that weight. I felt better. I should have kept it off. Plus, I had a cool shirt on.
Norma, can you email me your email or just email me? Yeah, email me your email, actually.
Email me your email.
Yeah, because I can't bring her up. I'm sub to her, too, so I don't.
You'll figure
Bella, I sent you a link. Oh, yeah. I love you too, Edith.
It's tough over there right now. I gotta let things calm down, I guess. It's it's kind of tough being a male in this community.
No, it's not. Brian, let's be real. being a male is to your advantage in this community, because if you were a female, you would have been knocked off of Laura's channel. I'm telling you, if you were a female, you would not, and the same for Robbie and all these other guys, you would not be around for as long as you have been participating in these chats. Right, ladies?
Well, what I mean is that I'll cut it out.
Yeah, quit crying, Brian. Come on.
What I mean is anything that I say, I get labeled as a misogynist. And I don't hate women. I really don't. I just don't.
Okay. I can't see the chat though.
I can't see the chat. You gotta go to just turn your YouTube down and see it that way. You should be able, that's how I do it.
I'm on my phone. I've never done it on my phone before.
Bella, did you get it yet?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
20.
I don't know who that is though.
Is she in here?
Is that Bella? Is that speaking?
Yeah.
Now? Yeah, I can hear her.
I can't hear her. That's what happened. It's coffee tea.
I wonder if I could do it on my computer instead.
This is where I lose my microphone and I can't hear people. Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Hi, everybody.
Who's coffee tea?
Coffee tea.
It's so quiet. Why can't I hear you?
That's Bella that's showing up coffee tea?
I don't think so. I didn't send it to coffee tea. Who is
Hold
that?
on. I'm going to try to do it on my computer.
This is crazy. I wonder, it says coffee tea, but Bella just told me that was her.
Oh, maybe it is.
I don't know if she can hear us.
Is she talking? Do you hear her, Brian?
Said she's going to, I did. She said she's going to switch from her phone to her computer.
Have her, coffee tea, get out of Hangouts and come back in because I don't hear you.
She's trying to switch from her phone to her computer.
Yeah, but she's got to get out.
Okay.
I'm just going to boot her out. No, really, because eject.
Oh, she'll come back.
Yeah.
She won't take it personally.
Boing. Oh, that felt like being in a plane and you can eject someone out of the seat. That was fun. I'm like, yeah. Bye-bye.
You get to boot somebody.
Sometimes I'd like to get a few people up here right now and just do that.
Sometimes it feels good to boot somebody when they're pissing
right?
you off. You just like click and you're like, yeah, you bastard. That's what you get.
Hi.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you on my phone.
Okay, now I'm on my computer.
And you're on my phone, but you're not up on the you're not up on my computer with Brian and me.
I can hear that.
How do I do this? I don't even know.
You can I can't see the chat though now.
What about now?
Stephanie said if you boot her, she can't come back in.
We're new at this.
What did you call me on your old Hangouts?
I think I called you on our.
Yeah, no, that's no longer live.
Yeah. That's why.
Let me send you a link again. Hold on, Bella Costa.
Okay.
Pink is very patient.
No, I'm not.
Unless you wake her up at 10 in the morning and the dog's already been barking, then she can be a little snooty. She got me the other day, Pink. She's like, who the hell is this?
Are you mad at me?
Who, me?
No, you do, and I like that text or something.
I'm not mad at you. Oh, that's what I said. Yeah, I thought you were mad.
Yeah.
You were mad because the dog was barking already pissed you off, and then I started.
Yeah, that blood, that bastard, whatever it is. Oh my God.
You sent me a video, and I think that you were trying to show me that the dog was barking, but it was just like you getting up.
Yeah, I was literally like sleeping, and I'm like, are you kidding? Like this dog, it's nothing wrong with the dog. He just Rigger has two little yappy dogs, okay? This lady comes over to Rigger's house, who's next on my street next to me, but they both happen to stop right in front of my house at the sidewalk, the dog walkers.
Mhm.
And this dog gets excited that the other dogs, and he starts howling. And this woman does nothing. And she and Rigger will just chit chat and like not even pay attention to this dog. And it's howling. And I'm like, are you kidding?
I saw the video where he showed where he was actually howling, and them beagles, I tell you, they just
I'm telling in my door, I have a sliding glass balcony off my master bedroom, and I'm telling you, I have like the blinds that make the room dark. Okay, and it doesn't matter. The door, the slider is closed, and that thing wakes me up. And now that spring's here, this is going to go on every single morning.
I thought you had called somebody about that though.
Who am I going to call? Ghostbusters? I mean,
Well,
really?
last time I heard you were talking about seeing if you can get something done about the dog.
No, I think people were making suggestions, but
No.
like over in England, I guess that there's like you can call animal control and they actually do something about it. But here, they don't do anything.
And I know you didn't go over there and knock on their door and ask them about it, did you?
Never. I don't have nothing to do with Rigger. Are you kidding?
I wondered.
Oh, the lady with that howling dog, she lives like down the street. I don't even know what house she lives in. She walks up. It's like a clique of gossipy dog walkers around here.
My dog, I can't bring him around other dogs, so I don't have that. He won't. He does not play well with other dogs. He doesn't. So I can't do that. But I'm out walking him. I have to keep him away from other dogs. You figure these little corgis would be friendly with other dogs, but he absolutely hates other dogs. He just
Okay, let me go back to the chat. Hold on.
Yeah, beagles do. They do that all the time. And the dog may not be in distress.
He's not. Oh my God, he's not. Did I post? I'm going to post the video on my community page tonight so you guys can hear it.
That's just what they do. That's just
oh
what
my
beagles
gosh. He did it today. This goes on every single day.
do. And he sounds like he's dying.
Yes.
Know?
It sounds like the dog is in distress. And he's happy. The tail's wagging and he's happy to see the other dogs. But she has to have some control. Come on. Put a muzzle on it, but don't be stopping in front of people's homes.
They would still do it. Yeah. I would be embarrassed if my dog was doing that. It would embarrass me. I would be like, no, you have to stop. But he barks at everything that moves in front of our door, and I can't stand that. I'm like, you're not going to do anything anyway. Just bark at him. What, Bella just dropped off the planet, didn't she?
Yeah, I keep sending her the link. I'll send her. She's got 2 links that come up, 2 names that come up. But I'll send her the other one too, with the same email.
Then Marianne fell asleep.
Definitely. So Roxy, what do you do about the beagle that lives next to you? I mean, do you talk to the owner? Like, we have a noise ordinance, but it's like not before 7 a.m. and then not after 10 p.m. But she'll be like in front of my house at 7:30 a.m. or 8 a.m.
The beagles never get tired of barking. Never. They're good dogs. They just bark. It's common. It's common for them. Jack Russells are kind of like that too.
There's no reason why she can't get a muzzle. And just, and be mindful of the neighbors. I've yelled out my window in my sleep. Like when I get woken up from a sleep, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still in like a deep sleep, but I'm walking around and I've slammed my windows. I've slammed my sliding glass door. I've yelled out, stop it. I'm sleeping. Like they don't do anything. Now though, because I cleaned out my closet, all right, and I found the megaphone, I'm going to use this. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Or just start barking back.
Yeah.
Yeah, here goes that crazy lady up in the window again.
I swear to God, I'm gonna do it, and I'll tape it too, so you all can see it.
Yeah, wear your shithead costume while you're doing it too. So
I'll
when
put
they look,
this out the window.
do it.
Yeah. I'm going
And,
to do it.
and then they say, "Why are you doing that? You're trying to shut the damn dog up."
Yep.
What are they gonna do? Take you to jail?
Yeah, so that dog won't want to come near my house anymore.
Oh man, I love it when I was talking to you about those compression socks that I have to wear, Pink. I love it when I take them off. I can feel all the circulation in my legs.
You're just taking them off now?
Yeah, I had them on. I was riding. I went out and rode my bike for a couple hours,
Oh, okay.
and then I leave them. I don't sleep with them on.
12 hours on, 12 hours off.
Yeah, they've been on for about 6, and
Yeah.
they make some funny indentations in my feet, but they help. I haven't got the fitted ones yet, but the ones that I've got now, they seem to be all right. So keeps that swelling down. That stuff just won't go away. It drives me nuts.
Todd, Pink, put a bunch of pepper in front of your house. It will be a scene out of Cool Hand Luke. What is that? What will Pepper do if I put it out there? I'll do it.
The dog is down the street, though, Todd.
No, but they always stop in front of my damn house.
Oh.
What will Pepper do?
Oh, yeah, I'll shut that dog up. I would if they were in front of my house and they woke me up. I would. I'd open my window and say, "Hey, could you move on down the road somewhere, please?" And then we live in the downstairs. We have people that live above us. Yeah, and if they get really loud up there, I just turn my stereo up really loud, and that works.
So beagles are hunting dogs. So I wonder if there's a deterrent of some kind of particular animal urine that I can buy at the local gardening shop. All right.
That'll make them sniff all day instead of bark.
I don't know. Maybe there's a wild animal that they are afraid of, that if I put it out there, like fox pee or something, whatever they're afraid of, that will deter the dog from wanting to, stay there right in front of my house and drive the owner nuts. And she's going to be like, "What's going on? What's happening? Why won't my dog sit still here?"
I don't know why you just don't go down and talk to them.
I have like yelled on my window, "Please." I can't make it any clearer. I'm sleeping.
And they still okay.
Yes, I'm sleeping, They don't care. I'm telling you, these dog walkers. I mean, believe me, once nice weather comes here, I'll be doing a lot of like comedy videos about, because everything I do is based from real life experiences. Yeah, it's going to be a very busy summer on Pink's YouTube channel.
Todd said they'll stop barking and start sneezing with the pepper. You know what else will work? A super soaker.
Yeah, that's mean. I can't do that to a dog.
No, you hit it right in the butthole. Stop barking.
When I was growing up, everyone had a spray bottle of water in their home. So if the dog misbehaved, you'd like spray water in its face. And I look back and it's like, how cruel were we?
Unless you get a dog that likes it. Go ahead, spray me. I don't care. I stink. I've been rolling around dead birds all day.
Yeah, my sister had a German Shepherd that passed away last year, unfortunately, that if you got like a water hose, he loved it. Like he was trying to like drink it and catch it in his mouth. And yeah, he loved the water.
Our dog is afraid of the broom for some reason. And if he gets out of line or, if I just look at the broom or grab it, he does not like the broom. He goes after the broom. But it makes him calm, just the sight of a broom. And we've had him since he was a pup. I don't know what the thing is with the broom, but it works.
Todd, I'm gonna go to like BJ's or Sam's Club. I'm gonna get the mega container of pepper. Okay, and do it.
Mix some stool softener up with it too, so they'll have a mess to clean up.
No, the pepper's enough. I'll try that.
He said they'll stop barking and start.
Now I'll put the stool softener in the owner's food, but not the dog. The poor dog. It's not his fault.
It's harmless. Roll it up in some peanut butter.
No, just spread it out in the grass. I mean, I'm not going to make myself, I'm going to do this incognito. I'm telling you, this neighborhood with all these gossipers, and they're all women. They're all women.
Imagine that, Pink.
Yeah, right? And everyone's like, get another dog. It will be fun. I'm like, no, I can't. My Chihuahua, she was so tiny that I could pick her up and just like run up the street, and there's a field up there, and and she didn't like walking in the winter. She hated the snow or the rain. But I won't get so lucky the next time. I'll have to actually walk a dog like 3 to 6, 8 times a day. I just can't do it. Even people who don't live in my neighborhood, because my neighborhood's very windy and woodsy. It's a nice neighborhood. It's beautiful to walk through. So people from other neighborhoods come to my neighborhood to walk their dogs because it's a quieter neighborhood, not a lot of traffic. So there's a lot of dog walkers that come through here.
We have a nice lake up front, and I just like to walk him around that 2 or 3 times. And usually, if somebody's up there with their dog already, people will wait until you get done walking your dog around the lake a couple times, and you leave, and then they'll take their turn.
Yeah.
The dog.
Julie, the noise ordinance is nothing before 7 a.m. and nothing after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So she usually comes bouncing around my house at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
She waits.
Yeah, she waits. She keeps looking at her clock.
Or you could just get you a tape that's just got like porno sounds and just blast that out your window while they're sitting there gossiping.
That's not a bad idea, Brian.
That might make them move on.
That's not a bad I don't know. Rigger will probably bang down my door if she hears that sound. Yeah. Yeah. Rigger. Yeah, she's got a different guy like every week at her house. It's awful. And she's nothing to like, I'm talking Rigger. Everyone heard my story, right? Probably not.
No, I don't know all of it.
Nobody heard my Rigger story?
Did you tell it a while back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I haven't heard it.
Okay. All right. All right. Rigger is my neighbor. She's a single woman. When I first met her, I look so tired. When I first met her, she was telling me about, I'm like the welcome wagon. No one does it anymore, right? But I'll still make a casserole and, welcome people to the hood, us city-fied people.
Right.
And so I introduced myself to her, and she was very nice. And, and she's like, blah, 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 and she has this, she always loves this word, phrase, not for nothing, but not for nothing. I can't stand when people say that now. Not for nothing, but anyway, so I was like, welcome. And she's like, yeah, I'm divorced. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she was telling me all about her divorce and her husband cheated on her. And I really felt bad for her. She has no kids. She had another dog at the time that she ended up like basically killing it. Like, she's so dumb. And then like a month later, both her cats died. Like she's not mean. She's just so stupid. She probably and she drinks, but I don't think she's a big drinker. She probably like rolled over on her pets and smothered them, but whatever. So, she's going on and on and on about this divorce. And I'm like, my God. I go, so when did you get divorced? It sounded like recently, like, did they sell the house? And then she downsized, and she says, oh, I got divorced 7 years ago. And I'm like, oy vey. I'm like, oh my God. I knew right away. If she was still ranting and she was married to a cop 7 years ago, she was divorced. And I'm like, oh, honey, you could have like put a period on the end of it and move on. Like 7 years. So she's all right looking. She's not like a double take, she does have the fake breasts. She still wears mummy jeans, people. So if you can get like a visual of her in mummy jeans, which went out of fashion when I was wearing them in the early 90s. Oh my God, there's pictures of me in these jeans literally, right, come like up to here. Come on, people. Like, did we really wear those? The
corduroy bell bottoms.
Yeah. So now, so our pants have lowered down to like the hips, right? No, these mummy jeans, we all know, we've all worn them. Don't lie, you've worn them. She still wears mummy jeans, and she's not the brightest bulb, but she went to college. She's got I don't know what she in business or something. But she's really not the brightest bulb in the lamp. And so she'd always have these guys over every week, there'd be a different truck or a different car. And one day I got home from work, and this is when I was working at the prison, and I'd get home around midnight, and it was summertime, dark, obviously. And I'm walking up to my house, and I have a fence on the side of my yard. And I see a shadow behind my fence. Now, when you're a citified person, you're like, okay, like the gun's inside my house, not outside. I don't have a license to carry. And which I can, but I just chose not to get it because with me and my road rage, oh, no. I could end up, being in the prison as an inmate and not as a medical staffer. So he scared me, and he's like, shh. And I go, what? And he's like, shh. And I recognized him like a little bit with the light of the moon shining on him, right? And I go, what are you doing? And he's like, shh. Well, another guy, he's been dating her for quite a while. There's another guy in her house. She got the wind. She's this thing with curtains. She never closes her curtains. We've seen Diana and I have walked by when she's had Japanese porn playing. I'm talking hardcore Japanese porn. No. PTSD here. Okay. I never wanted to have sex after I watched that. I was like, and I'm like trying to cover Diana's eyes, and she's like, Mom, I can't see it. And I'm like, you don't want to see this. She was with my neighbor George. And I texted her and I said, hey, you got to close your curtains, because we were walking our dog, and there it is on a big screen, like Japanese porn, and they're not very touchy-feely people. Okay. So you can imagine what this porn looked like. So I was like, so I texted her and I said, could you please be mindful? My Diana was probably 15, 14 at the time. She writes back, ha, 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 it's my birthday. And I'm like, happy birthday. Would you close your curtains? She never would. Right? So this guy is watching her house of another guy kissing her. They're standing up. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of this. And I'm like, oh my God. And I said to him, dude, you might just want to leave and go home and call it a night. Like, I don't think this is working out for you two. Right. And he's just like, shh, shh. And he was so like in tune, like his eyes were just like, like I wasn't there. And so I'm standing there. She walks out of her house with this guy, gives him a kiss on the lips. The kiss lasted 5-10 seconds. He walks to his truck. The truck moves, and he comes flying out of behind my porch fence and runs over to her house, banging on the door. Of course, I'm like, well, I'm not going to go in my house. It's like going to a movie and telling you to leave in the middle of it, right at the height of it. I'm like, no. So I watched him go in, and he was on bended knee, like almost looking like he was going to profess his marriage proposal to him, but he didn't, because I ran closer to the house, and I'm like, what's going on, right? Because it was summer, windows are open. He was begging her, I love you. I want to be with you. Not, I want to marry you. Like what he just saw. And I'm like, what is it about this woman? I go, she must really be good in the sack. She must be like the bomb, because to have all these guys over so frequently and different guys, right? I'll read the chat later. I'm into a story. I can't get distracted. And so that's that. He ends up staying. So the next day, because they'll stay the weekend, she won't go out at all. And I'm like, wow, she must be. And there's my son, Adam, saying, when do I get a turn? And I'm like, oh, no, it doesn't work that way. He's like, well, yeah, she's like a doorknob. Everyone gets a turn. Oh. He was joking. I'm like, and I told him, I said, you can't, because people like that, you could lose your precious jewels. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you can't, because you don't know what she's got down there, right? So Deanna and I again were walking my little 6-pound dog, minding our own business, nighttime. In her bedroom, the houses here all have a balcony off the master bedroom with a sliding glass door. Okay, so it's a big window, full length. Okay, not a window where, you're going to look in. Drapes open. Deanna and I walking by, and something catches the corner of my eye. I'm typically not a nosy person. And I look, and I'm like, and I see somebody's ass literally going up and down off a bed. And my daughter looks and she's like, what is that, Mom? And I'm like, here's my daughter's head. And I'm like, and she's like, no, Mom. And I'm like, oh my God, I think he's doing CPR on her, because I could see her feet under him. This is how she got the name Rigger, like this, left foot, right foot. And I see him on top of her, and her feet are just like, they never moved. They never, ever moved. So I thought he was doing CPR on her. I did. My daughter was there. Ask her. I said, oh my God, she's not breathing. Hold on. I need to plug in myself.
Uh-oh. Ping's having difficulty.
So it was my daughter who said to me, Mom, they're having sex. And I go, no. I go, no, she's dead. She's not moving. Her feet were like this. Like rigor mortis. That's all I could think was she's dead. I've seen people dead. I see it all the time, in my job, and like they're stiff. Rigor sets in like 2.5 hours after death. And I says, my God, it's too late for him. He should have started that when, she had some flexibility, but no, they were just like that. And he was going like a mile a minute, and I felt bad. And he goes, Mom, she's having sex. So I'm like, then I start really focusing, and I'm like, I saw her foot move like a twitch. And I go, thank God she's alive. She's alive. And Deanna's like, no, she's really having sex. Because I am naive. And I'm like, oh my God, but her curtains, why would you do that with your curtain wide open? That's why I kept thinking that. Like there's something wrong up there. And no, she was having a relationship. And to this day, my daughter and I, we cannot figure out what it is about her that brings all these different men over to her house so often.
Is she escorting?
You know what? I don't know. I never thought about that, because they don't come back. Like a lot of them. Oh, maybe because she's had this regular guy come. He's as old as dirt. Mm-hmm. He drives a truck.
Sugar daddy.
He's slumped over like this, and he comes over quite a bit. And I'm like, no, that can't be a boyfriend. That, and he's not well dressed, it's not like, you can tell when people have money, mm-hmm. They have a very nice car, or, there's nothing like that sticks out about him that, he's even got class. I mean, he's just an old fud, Yeah. Now mm-hmm. that you said that, because I'm always thinking too hard. I'm thinking, well, maybe, Those
guys are John. She's a trick.
Maybe these guys just, don't care if she moves or not, that they're just getting what they came to get. But I never put escort to it.
That's another thing, too. If she's not reacting, you're sitting there watching her have sex, and she's not reacting to it, she's just laying there waiting for the guy to get done. So she just wants her money. She wants him to get done and get out. So she's probably escorting.
You know what? I'm going to talk to my daughter about this and see what she thinks. That, you know what, Brian? I think you're on to something.
That's exactly what's
Because I
happening.
don't think of people in that light, you know?
Why would she take
I
the
don't. I
chance?
like to think of the good in all people. And not that escorting isn't bad.
Well, no, I mean,
If
but like you
do it
said,
the right way.
the guy was sitting out there watching her. He was probably more than a trick or more than a John, and didn't know that she was escorting, or otherwise, why would she risk? You know, she had to know that guy was coming over, and she had this other guy in there. She probably thought she could get it done and be gone before he got over there.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely, yeah. You're absolutely, wow. It all kind of is making sense now that you mentioned that. Like it's all falling into place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Especially with the
talking
older guys.
different guys. I'm just like,
Mhm.
but then it kind of like, it screws me up when like I see my neighbor over there, George, who's a nice looking guy. All right, he lives down the street. Handsome guy, real, but unfortunately he's got a drinking problem. Very distinguished guy, you know, in his probably late 50s. But he'd pop over once in a while, you know. So I'm like, well, maybe these guys, I don't know. But they don't last long. That's just it. They don't last long.
No, they come and they get what they want, and then they're done with it.
Yeah, but that old guy, he's the most regular. So thus far, he's the most regular. So once the warm weather comes out and I'm sitting outside more often and stuff, that, you know, I'll get more scoop on Rigger. Okay. Her first name is Rigger. Her last name is Mortis. And then I have another neighbor who takes me to court all the time. And what she does, and Diana can attest to this, that every time I go back to Maui, which I go often, I come back and there's a court summons in my mailbox. And one time I got, I had to appear at a criminal complaint filed against me for spitting. And I looked at the date of the alleged incident, and it was a date right in the middle of my 2-week trip to Maui. So it was impossible for me to spit from Maui and hit her in Boston.
You can do it if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm working on that, right? Yeah, like mental telepathy, you know? Yeah, so I'm just like, she's nuts. One day I walked out of my house. I just bought almost $100 worth of flowers and planted them in my garden. I'd love to make, you know, the outside of my house look presentable. And I often have people walk by who walk in the dog saying, you know, how lovely my garden is. And I've got the best garden, but I'm not in competition. And it's also very expensive. And so I haven't been spending as much money in the summer. So I planted them. I went in an hour later, I'm going out to my car to do an errand. And I see all these holes in my garden. I'm thinking, did the skunks and chipmunks come back quick and grab my plants? They usually go after the bulbs, but these were plants. And then all of a sudden I hear, I did it. I did it. And I'm looking around and I'm like, where's that coming from? Right? So I look up because all the houses built have like that balcony, and she's hanging off her balcony like, oh, please jump, God forgive me. All right. I mean, and she goes, I did it. She pulled up all my flowers and just threw them on the street in front of my yard. $100, almost $100 worth of flowers. And I looked up to her and I go, why? Well, she's like, why not? And I'm like, now, she came up to me a couple of years ago and wanted to be my friend. Her ex-husband just moved in. She went through a divorce, but he's moved back in now. She wanted to be my friend. And because she gossips and she gets paranoid and has anxiety, I just felt it wasn't a good fit, you know? And those who gossip to you will gossip about you. So I like to be preventative, like preventative medicine. I like to just not get involved completely to avoid it. And I nicely said to her, you know, I'm busy. And I was truthful. I said, you know, the people you hang out with, I said they do a lot of gossiping and it's very hurtful. And, I was raising my daughter and I said, it's not a good look for my kids. I don't want to have them around this. And she was nice about it, sort of. But then she thought about it and, pulls up my plants and I've gone to the police. What are they going to do? I just make a paper trail. And when I was in Hawaii 2 years ago, the day I landed that night, the police called me and they're like, Boston Police Department. They're like, Pauline, don't tell us you're in Hawaii. I go, yeah. How did you know, Officer Joe? He goes, because, your neighbor just called and she's filing a criminal complaint again. Like she would do it every time I would be in Hawaii. And I'd go to court. I'd lose a day of work. And the judge would listen. I'm going to go, why are we even here? Why did this even go through the magistrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it would get dismissed. But, you'd be in court all day. Second session. So, yeah, she's another. And the spring is coming. And she'll be venturing out soon. So I will have lots of stories to tell this summer. Yeah. Yeah. She came up to me one day and made banana bread or something. And offered it to me. And I just politely declined. I'm not a dessert eater and neither are my kids. And I didn't want it to go to waste. And I politely declined, even though she's put me through hell in court trying to get restraining orders against me. And she was very upset that I wouldn't take her banana bread. I mean, she was flipping out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I went into the house and Diana heard it all. Mom, she's ranting about the banana bread and you won't be her friend. And, even if out of pity I was to become her friend, it would be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, what about Bob? Like
Yeah.
she would be following me everywhere, showing up where I'm at, showing up to my work. I can't go there. And I like my privacy.
Yeah.
I like my privacy. I come home and it's my refuge. It's my safe haven after working so many hours. And, I just like to be alone. But yeah, she's something else. I don't have a nickname for her. Her first name is Barbara. Okay. But I don't have a nickname for her yet, but I will.
We had a couple that lived upstairs a few years ago and me and Nicole were back there in our bedroom in bed. And we could hear them, and they were just really getting it on. And we could hear it through the walls, exactly what she was saying. And so all we did was just turn up our radio and not listen to it. Well, a couple weeks later, the kids were in the tub, and they were being a little noisy in the tub. And I guess the lady could hear them upstairs. And she come down here and knocked on the door. And she goes, your kids are being entirely too loud in that tub. And I said, well, I can understand that. I said, but they're just kids, and they're having fun. Just like you did a couple weeks ago. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, we could hear everything that you said up there while you were getting it on with your husband. And she goes, no, you couldn't. And I repeated it. And she goes, oh. I said, we didn't ruin your good time.
Oh, wow.
And that woman never came down here again. Never. And Nicole was behind me laughing her ass off. And that's what I tried to tell her. It was so funny. And she turned white. She turned pure white. I said, we didn't ruin your good time. We could have just started banging on the ceiling floor and embarrassed them. We just turned the radio up. We were laughed and turned the radio up.
Yeah.
These walls.
It's not easy. They say before you buy a house or rent an apartment, interview your neighbors first. Before you sign a lease.
Yeah, the one on the other side, she's been over there 10 years. And we don't even really know her, which is cool. That's the way I'd like for it to be. I don't want to know my neighbors. But we get people upstairs that for some reason that apartment rents out a lot. And they're just noisy. And we just have to deal with that, the noise.
So Diana has an apartment and she called me last week. Diana's my daughter. And she came home from work. And they have a neighbor across the hall from her. But she sees a guy above my daughter's apartment. and there's always noise, even at midnight, and you know, it's just like running, and it's really, it's awful. But Diana came home. It was right before 5 o'clock, and she heard a lot of arguing upstairs. It was bad to where she called the police, and Diana's not like that. She's pretty tolerant. But she called the police out of concern for this woman, okay? And she called the police, and apparently the police are very familiar with this woman that Diana didn't know. So the police came like fast, right? Now Diana's saying they're above me, but she technically lives across from my daughter, but her boyfriend is above my daughter. So the police, knowing this, they still went to her primary residence. She didn't answer the phone. All right. I mean, the door. She didn't answer the door. Diana's looking through her peephole because she's like, she felt bad calling. She told the police, please don't say it was me. And they're like, don't worry about it. Your call's anonymous. We never tell, people who the caller was. And so she's looking through the peephole, and all of a sudden she heard boom, because she wouldn't answer the door. The woman that was supposedly the owner of that apartment, the renter, they literally banged her front door, boom, completely down. They knocked, they heard no answer, and they took like this metal thing, and they didn't wait for the landlord to come with a key, because they're thinking it's quiet. Was she hurt? Was she killed? And they took this big like metal thing and just knocked the door right down, walked over the door. She wasn't there. She wasn't there. She was hiding upstairs in her boyfriend's apartment. But my daughter called me, and she was like, Mom. And then her boyfriend came home, and he's like, what? He's walking by, and he goes, what the hell happened to the door? Like, it's off the hinge, like, boom, right off. These cops just blasted that door open. And she was upstairs. They had a warrant out for her anyway.
I wonder if they had a warrant out for her.
Yeah, they did. They did. So she was hiding, being quiet, and the landlord gave her a week to get out, and she's gone. But they fixed the door. They didn't even put a new door up. They just like fixed it. You could see on the door jamb like a little bit where the damage is, but they just like picked it up. And it was funny because the maintenance guy came within like 10 minutes after that happened. Like everybody was watching. And the maintenance guy was like, okay, I got some work to do. Yeah, I'll fix the door now. It was funny. It was funny.
Mary liked my video, apparently. I had to take that down, though, so people asked me to take it down. So.
What video was that?
I had a video where I was kind of, it was like a parody video going back at somebody where I used that Eminem song that she's talking about right there. I took it down, Stephanie, and then asked me to take it down. I don't know. I'm getting tired, though. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
That pizza? You got pizza?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
Cold.
It's even better when it's cold.
Mm-hmm. I'm hungry. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
I will read my chat.
Well, good night, Pinky. You know we love you.
Yeah, I love everyone too.
Keep doing what you do, girl.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. We had a little bit of everything. We talked about drug addiction, alcohol, recovery, neighbors, rigor. Brian had great stories too. It was fun. It was fun. A good way to end the weekend. Okay. I'll see you soon. Okay.